Hi everyone, my name is Meng Tsai. This is my AFAS 160D1 intellectual audio and video mix. I choose to think of the racism of African American in the United States. I picked this topic after learning about the character we read in the article. From the early 20th century to now, racism is a growing problem, especially in America.
The United States is often called the Great Melting Pot, but it's a country that's struggled with race relations throughout its history, and still does today. A 2015 CNN and Kaiser Family Foundation poll found about half of Americans think racism is a big problem, one that doesn't seem to be getting better. Two-thirds said racial tensions in the United States had increased over the last decade. More than half of blacks said they had experienced some form of racial discrimination in their lifetimes, from being denied a job to fearing for their lives. About a third of whites and Hispanics reported similar experiences. Blacks and Hispanics were also far more likely than whites to say that they had been unfairly treated in the last month in a public place, such as a restaurant or in a store, because of their race. Segregation is still a reality as well, at work and at home. 60% of whites said their work colleagues were all or mostly white, and close to 70% of whites said either their social circle or their neighborhood was mostly white. When asked if certain factors, like discrimination, a lack of educational opportunities, and broken families, played a major role in the social and economic problems facing their communities, the majority of blacks and Hispanics said yes. But even so, there is optimism. A majority of blacks and Hispanics aged 18 to 34 say it's easier for them to achieve the American dream than it was for their parents. Only 31% of young white adults said the same.
Being a young man of color in 2015, it's a job. It's a job 24/7.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
You have to worry about being profiled, being stereotyped, having to watch your back from the people who's supposed to help you.
If I get pulled over, I have to be extra cautious. Can I see your license and registration? They may be thinking I'm going for a gun or something, I have to keep that in the back of my mind all the time.
We are being murdered at a very high rate. Black trans folk, black gender nonconforming folk, black women, black men, we are hunted. And it's very...
By now, you know Michael Brown's story. For Black Americans, this is just reality.
It feels like it takes no time for you to get pulled over by the police, but we couldn't cover his body or get him out of the street for 4 hours. That type of trauma, it really seeps into the soil of a community.
The thing about Ferguson you have to remember is people weren't just protesting the death of an unarmed black teen.
People were protesting revenue-generating policing and the resurgence of the modern-day debtor's prison to make people poor and keep people poor.
So I feel like racism is more pronounced in America. The disease is still there. It's the same disease, but it just manifests in a different way. And in British culture is way more reserved, so it's more systematic. I think in America you have the systematic and then you have the overt. But also the history of America is to do with race relations. Whilst a lot of the people that are within London have come from, like my family's from Uganda, come from Africa, come from Caribbean. So they've come from this culture and they've kind of like usually come from the Commonwealth and have been colonized by the West. So we're like navigating that. But it's why a lot of Black British artists are in America. It's not seen in England, but it's felt and it's oppressive. And it stops you from becoming your best you at times.
So you would say the overt is bad, but the hidden is maybe...
No, I think racism just sucks, innit? Across the board, innit? Like, no matter how it comes out, it's kind of fucking shit.